Welcome back to Anadialogue, the dialogue on analog music reproduction. Today we're going to take a deep dive in Brazilian music. Oh yes. Okay guys, are you ready? I've been wanting to do this video for a very long time. Go! We're going to take a look at 10 amazing, fantastic albums that are mainly rooted in the bossa nova movement, but also with a splash of samba, which obviously are strictly connected actually. For those of you who do not know what bossa nova is one of the main, I would say, trends. In fact, bossa nova means new trend of lyrical jazz, we could say, a specific type of jazz which was born between the 50s and 60s in Brazil, and that at that point just exploded and happily contaminated the whole world. A lot of American jazzmen completely changed their curriculum, their path, their career in order to try to grasp and to insert those sounds, those amazing sounds, in a good bunch of records which are just as good, I would say. But they're not Brazilian. In fact, today we're going to take a look at 10 records that are purely made in Brazil from Brazilian people with true Brazilian sounds. Let's get to it. Okay, we're going to start. I have to say one thing. Unfortunately, YouTube restrictions on playing music are getting nastier and nastier. So, if I get blocked, unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut a reproduction of a song or a track or an entire album. So maybe you're just going to see me talk about an album and then there's nothing. I'm going to pass on to something else, or it's going to be completely distorted. I have to choose between these two, otherwise the video is going to be blocked. So please be patient on this side. I'm going to try to put all my records there and see what happens. Okay, let's start. I have something on CD and something on vinyl and something on tape. Okay, let's start. Number 1, Luiz Bonfa, O Violão e Samba. Now, why did I choose this? First of all, this was my first bossa nova record. I just found this at a CD shop, I think in London or somewhere. I picked it up. Took a while to get back home. I was just attracted from the liner notes, that it was the 50 years of bossa nova. I don't know. It just seemed all in the right position. And I tried. I was pretty young. We're talking about 20 years ago probably. And I was completely blown away. I truly understood finally what is bossa nova. And the artists, starting from Luiz Bonfa, I must admit, my favorite, which create this incredible, sympathetic, this empathy with you, with the instrument, the sensation that they're able, and especially Luiz, able to deliver with their guitar, with just these few notes, which bossa nova is characterized by. It's something that just captures you and drags you away somewhere else, which immerses you in this saudade and this sadness, but melancholy, a positive sadness, which has some notes of happiness mixed with the tristeza, with the sadness. It's a strange mixture that it is perfectly combined, infused in this type of recordings. And I think that nobody else is capable of doing something like that except Brazilian music, and especially these bossa nova artists. Oh baby, yes. Now, this record is truly amazing. I mean, all these compositions, which are mainly from Luiz Bonfa, are just mesmerizing. Let's try to listen to something. Just capturing with my mic. It's not direct. ...1962 recording. Oh, baby. Okay. Let's go ahead. Second record, second CD. Another bossa nova father, we could say. Carlos Lira, with his Saravá. Again, a great little album, which this one is from 1970, so we're already almost in a second phase. But the notes, the music, it's very similar to the beginning, I must admit. He also made a very famous album called Bossa Nova, so that's probably a good starting point, but I think this is better. I love this more.
Parece que ela vai no caminho do mar. Até parece que ela vai de samba porque tá cansada de esperar. Até parece que ela vai de samba, parece que ela vai.
A lot of times we have strings associated to bossa nova, especially also the American recordings, which is nice. I don't like it always, but
Mas viver sem ela, mas também quem mandou.
with just a few notes, they just fill in completely. The sound is big. It's not thin. I mean, we have these few instruments also typical that belong mainly to the samba types of music that are borrowed, we could say, from this other type of genre. But it just creates something unique. I really have to underline this. Okay, third album. Again, Luis Bonfa. I had to put at least two. I wanted to put three actually, but then I cut off the third one. Okay, this is another incredible recording. Solo in Rio. For example, it just says here, Smithsonian Folkways recordings. I mean, these are jewels. This is history. This is pure history, our heritage. If we have to bring some music on the moon, I'm surely gonna put something out of bossa nova. That's 100%. And the sad part is that a lot of people that do get close to bossa nova usually use it as chill out music, which is perfect. I like that too. For example, my Sunday morning record is usually a bossa nova record. But it's not only that. I mean, when you start to understand, even though I do not know Brazilian, do not know Portuguese, I perfectly understand their sensation, their passion, their sadness, all those emotions in their notes, because it's extremely communicative. Okay, so this is another great album from Luis Bonfa, which I forgot to mention. Luis Bonfa, his father was from Italy. His parents were immigrants, at least his father. I know his father was Italian. So we have a connection here. Grande Luis. Okay. Now this is a little more relaxed, a little more intimate, because he did a lot of purely instrumental albums, which are perfectly inside the bossa nova concept. No problem. You don't have to sing to be bossa nova, inside the bossa nova. This one is a little more intimate. It has a lot of solo tracks, just him with his guitar. Very nice. It's a happy, catchy music, but It's sad. You're missing something, no? You feel melancholic. That's bossa nova. Amazing. 1959 recording. Okay, let's proceed. Another founder of Bossa Nova, João Gilberto, of course. Now, obviously, there are much more famous albums from him, like Chega de Saudade or Amoroso. But I like more this one. I don't know why. I just prefer this one. Maybe it's a little less known, but all of these are famous in the end. And I prefer this album. O amor, o sorriso e a flor.
Eis aqui este sambinha feito numa nota só. Outras notas vão entrar, mas a base é uma só. Esta outra é consequência do que acabo de dizer. Como eu sou a consequência inevitável de você. Quanta gente existe por aí que fala tanto e não diz nada, ou quase nada. Já me utilizei de toda a escala, no final não sobrou nada. Não deu em nada e voltei pra minha nota. Como eu volto pra você. Vou contar com a minha nota como eu gosto de você. E quem quer todas as notas, ré, mi, fá, sol, lá, si, dó. Tim, 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 para, 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 tim, 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 para, 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 para mim, seu bem me disse, amar é tolice, é bobagem, ilusão. Eu prefiro viver tão sozinho. Fiz projetos, pensei tanta coisa. E agora o coração.
1960 recording. Okay, so after João, which is one of the most familiar voices, I would say, if we have to think of a voice of bossa nova, probably João Gilberto, together with Astrud Gilberto, which is a female singer, another very famous singer of Brazil. It's the most common, the most associated to that type of music. In any case, now let's pass to another record, quite different from the rest, but still inside the bossa nova samba, although it does have some influence from the funk and soul side. Quem Quem from João Donato. Oh yes. If you look at these records, you would say, I don't know, I don't think there's nothing good inside there, but don't judge a book from the cover, guys. Okay, this is 1973 release. Let's listen. Great bass. Great groove.
Mas no dia de eu ver
Different, interesting. I mean, it's something odd, I would say. It fits in the genre, but it has that I don't know, that quid in Latin, we would say, that makes it completely fantastic and different from the rest. Love it. Okay, for our 6th release, we're gonna take a listen to a live recording. Bola Sete at the Monterey Jazz Festival. Oh, baby! This record is steaming. Now, this record really gives its best. I mean, I love Bola Sete, but in this record, this live recording, he really, I don't know, burns. He turns on fire. He goes crazy. I mean, the music, the emotion is amazing. Just love it. Going crazy about it. Now, this is on tape. I was pretty lucky to find this on tape. I'm sorry I'm having a hard time to find adjectives, but it's difficult because I have them in Italian in my head, and it's difficult to express myself correctly. So, but you're getting my enthusiasm, I think. Very nice tape. To listen to it, I have also the CD version, which is pretty good. There's also some other tracks previously unreleased. Nothing very good actually. But let's hear something. 1966 recording. Now this music comes from Orfeu Negro, Black Orpheus, which is a very famous movie that I must say opened the doors, the soundtrack, to bossa nova, to Latin jazz in general, to the Western public, to American public, and then Europe. And a lot of these compositions from Orfeu Negro are from Luis Bonfa. It goes quicker and quicker. Let's skip.
Now we like play regional composition. This is soul samba.
Soul samba. Now the tracks are very long, so you have to wait a little bit. When it gets inside the core and the end of the track is just amazing. So you have to be patient, buy it, you won't regret it. All of these guys, incredible gold stuff. Okay, now let's start moving now towards the LPs, the records. For our 7th record, we have Samba Esquema Novo from Jorge Ben. This is very nice, very fresh, very 60s, but it has different types of flavors, we could say. And Jorge Ben did different things, actually, during his career. The first one, you should recognize it, I think, which also got famous recently for a remix of that.
Oh,
que nada. Sai da minha frente, eu quero passar. Pois o samba está animado. O que eu quero é sambar. Esse samba que é misto de maracatu. É samba de preto velho, samba de preto. Tim, 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 tim. Faz o tamborim, tim, tim, tim. E o violão faz tindom, batendo igual meu coração, tindom.
It's more on the popular side sometimes, with some flavors of bossa nova and samba, obviously.
Você gostou quando ouviu meu samba sambô, fez a turma toda gostar do seu jeito bom de gingar, de sambar. Din, 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 faz o tamborim, din.
For our next record, we have one of my favorites of all time, I would say. I already presented this in other videos, using it as a test disc. The recording is so good. Elis and Tom, obviously, with Antonio Jobim and Elis Regina. Regina would be Spanish. Regina in Brazilian, I believe. Two of the most famous, I would say, singers, composers, artists of Brazilian music, and obviously bossa nova. And this comes a little later down the road, after their first records, their first successes. And you can see the artists here reach their maturity, we could say. I mean, they're relaxed, they're having fun, they're laughing in certain parts of the record. And again, I wanted to highlight the importance that the quality of the recording is amazing. I don't know why, but it's just fantastic. And in fact, I highly recommend to check out the DVD audio if you're more on the digital side, which is fantastic. Inside there's also a CD if you don't have DVD audio, which is just as good. Yeah, this is an original edition, first edition of the record. Very precious. Beautiful gatefold.
É pau, é pedra, que é o fim do caminho. É o resto de toco, é um pouco sozinho. É um caco de vidro, é a vida, é o sol. É a noite, é a morte, é o laço do anzol. É peroba do campo,
É o nó da madeira, é uma quinta pereira,
é madeira de vento.
é
É um mistério profundo.
é o queira ou não queira,
É o vento ventando, é o fim da ladeira. É a viga, é o vão, festa da comida.
é a chuva chovendo, é conversa ribeira das águas de março, é o fim da canseira,
É o pé, é o chão,
é a mastradeira,
passarinho na mão.
pedra de atiradeira.
Cantar o que me restou de ti. Daí, nosso mais que perfeito está desfeito. E o que me parecia tão direito caiu desse jeito sem perdão. Então, disfarçar minha dor já não consigo. Dizer que nós somos bons amigos.
We don't need to linger on this one. It's just pure gold. Okay, let's proceed for our 9th record. Another great guitarist, an amazing artist. This is a more intimate and solo guitar almost in most tracks. Baden-Powell, Solitude on guitar. Wow. Wow. Another excellent tocador. I mean, these guys really know how to use a guitar. And this I mean, even when I put this the first time, my wife, that usually isn't interested in these types of, not too much at least in music, when I put bossa nova, and especially like for example this album here, she just came out, crept from her room and asked, "What is that? It's fantastic." Indeed, it's not just plain guitar, it's magic. (1971) record. Little scratched. Original edition. Let's go ahead. That was a 1973 recording. Got that wrong. Okay. So, we finally reached the end of our list. So, for our last record, I had to put at least one of the maestro, o maestro. Stoneflower by Antonio Carlos Jobim. Oh, yes, baby. Now, Jobim is among the three, I would say, musicians that created bossa nova. I mean, we all know Girl from Ipanema and Desafinado, and there are so many great albums he made in the 60s, but also like these late ones in the 70s, which I think are fantastic because he is in constant evolution. I mean, he is a true music genius. And a lot of his compositions also went out to other singers. I mean, he wasn't just composing for himself. It's a genius. Okay, let's listen to something. (1970). Repressing. Reissue. O maestro. The harmony, the piece, the music. Great selection. No time to go through it. Okay, guys. Please explore all of these recordings and whatever stems out from them. There's so many. This is just a small little selection of a few of my favorites. Here, the conductor I was reading is Eumir Deodato, who is another genius, Brazilian genius of the second phase, the 70s and late 60s, which I adore. He's mostly on the more funky side, but also samba and bossa nova is always lurking around. And I'm going to do a video also dedicated on that other type of genre. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please write your comments. Please write your suggestions connected to bossa nova. We all love bossa nova. And remember, music is born analog. Ciao, ciao! Well, guys, if you're enjoying my videos and you're enjoying my channel, please consider to subscribe by clicking the black and white logo here below. Also, don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll never miss an episode and you will become a true member of the analog community.